First, please bring your mind to Shakyamuni Buddha, the kind Buddha sitting under the Bodhi tree. Immovable, indestructible, unshakable. It is said that even to this day, masters, practitioners see Shakyamuni Buddha still sitting under the Bodhi tree as the previous incarnation of Dzongsa Khyentse. He saw Shakyamuni Buddha still sitting under the Bodhi tree and continuously teaching. So, with this knowledge that it is only our impure perception that hinders us from experiencing the Buddha, we visualize that somehow we transcend that and we are in front of the Buddha. Buddha is under the Bodhi tree, seated on a seat made of kusha grass, just grass, very serene, his calm gaze fixed on you. As in, Shakyamuni is waiting for us to now start transcending. So, with this image, please recite the refuge. On the second page. Just by yourself, I will gong and then keep taking refuge in this Buddha. Think about the qualities of his body, speech, and mind. And yes, just look at the Buddha. Sangye. Dagi jinsa jinsa. Dagi jinsa jibe tsona. Dollar benches, Sange Duprashon, Sange, Dollar benches, Sange Duprashon. Now, in front of such a Buddha, we will begin our practice. As a continuum of last year's shamatha, I request you to sit straight, possibly better when with your hands like this, or however you want to leave your hands. Hands are important. Be careful of your hands. It's very destructive. Backbone straight, shoulders even. Neck, the weight of the head should be directly on the neck. Don't do like this, like this. Little bit, tilted. Lips slightly ajar. Tongue touching the palate up there. Very important. It leaves enough space for your spit. And with the knowledge that Buddha has his gaze on you, sit straight. Don't move. No matter what thought comes in, doesn't matter. Not our job. Our job, your job is not to move. You find your position, move back and forth, whatever you have to do. Once you find it, then don't move, no matter what happens. Just keep remembering this, not to move. And watch your body. Once more, if you notice that you are moving a lot. Don't worry, it's just natural. When you don't move on purpose, then you make all those movements visible, that's all. One more time, again, with the blessings of Shakyamuni Buddha, sit straight again and just watch your body. If it's difficult, if the body is too big an object for you, start between the thumbs. When your thumbs are together, between this, the touching of the thumb, they should touch, but you shouldn't press. They shouldn't go apart too. Just start there, get some stability there. Like I said, hands are very important for us, so it's very easy to meditate on that. Don't move. Thank you. Again, this time watch the breathing. You breathe out, the whole nostril becomes warm. You breathe in, the whole nostril becomes cold. Just that. You need to if you're breathing long, let it breathe long. If you're breathing short, let it be short. Don't try to control it. if you find yourself being too distracted, look to the Buddha in front of you. Pray for the perfect stability that is needed for some blessing, instruction. Then sit straight again. Then, as I requested before, look at phenomena. I request you to choose at least two, whatever you choose, out of phenomena right now, like this piece of wood or table, I don't know, wall, anything, your clothes that you're wearing. By God, the causes and conditions for that. From the beginning, someone invented thread. Oh, down to now. Someone invented machine. Everything has to be there. Farmers working in the field for cotton. To the seed, back. And you look. Now don't get lost in that too. Go for a certain stage and then decide it is never ending, And then look for its true natural state, like the true essence of it. What is it? Which one is it? If you have to point to something, say, this is it. This is whatever, the natural state of the cloth or this wood or whatever. Please choose two and move from the first to the second. I will tell you. First, meditate on whatever the first object that you meditate. And remember, this does not put you in a space-like place. Here, everything is possible because of emptiness. So, to that. Sit straight again. Shakyamuni Buddha, always there when you're meditating. Very important. Always there. Your teacher, Buddha, like that. If it helps, sometimes, hold their feet in your hand, in your imagination, like that. Really pray. Or the hem of their, the sort of the end of their robe, Buddha's robe, in your hand you take and you really aspire for blessing, that you be able to follow, that your mental path should be exactly as the Buddhas, that you don't lose your path. Make aspiration and then sit and please, like I said, choose two objects. First, meditate, let's say this one, okay? This piece of wood. The second one is of your choice. First one, please meditate on this piece of wood. Everything now, every detail. Why is it like this? There has to be a tool. Tool has to be made by somebody. The wood from the trees and everything. Everything. Go back and back and back. Go into the future. Then look. Special insight. In the beginning, very short sessions. Now turn to something else. Just one object and then concentrate on that. Causes and conditions. It's continuity. Bring to mind, it should be as if you see each of its faces through the time. And then you look at it all together, trying to point to one face and say, this is the real nature. I guess we cannot spend so much time on this, but very important to have this. I don't like flowery terms, but I think Thich Nhat Hanh says something like, you can see eternity in each, like whatever. That's true in a way. Cause and effect of continuity of cause and effect of things really run in all directions. Then you get the idea now what Buddha meant. There is no such thing as a one entity. Everything is really sort of the gathering of 100,000 millions of things that just together for now, only this. We have to really remember this again and again. And it's not something hypothetical. You can actually see it. You can actually touch it. You can actually experience it, reason with it. Very important. Even more important is now you look into yourself, your own mind and body. You may notice when someone asks you, who are you? And then first you say your name. Then if you are feeling adventurous, you will tell them what you're doing, And it's always, have you noticed? What you are is always whatever you are right now for you. You never say, for example, I'm now 34 years old. I never say, or for example, now I'm lay. Before I was monk, but I never say I'm monk now. That part is not true anymore. But before I would say that, yes, I'm monk. So that was who I was before. Now I'm completely different, totally different. This Aryadeva, when he teaches the 400 verses, he spends a whole chapter on this, what we are talking right now. I'm not making it up, that's what I'm trying to say. That how things are not individual, how things are not one thing. To understand impermanence, you have to understand how things are not one thing, To understand how things are not one thing, you have to understand how things come from hundreds, thousands of different causes and conditions, and different causes and conditions give different result. Different causes and conditions don't give the same result. That would be absurd. So, yet, when someone asks you or you think who you are, you always think whatever you are now, that is you. Always. Next year, let's say, I don't know, you're something else. Then you think that is what you are, that is who you are. Now, same analysis now, exactly the same. You look at yourself, from the birth till now, each day is different. Today, me, right now, whatever I am, is not who I was before in the morning. Again changed. Again changed. Again changed. You see, again changed. Already changed, already changed, already changed. If someone asks you, when you were a toddler, If you could talk, you say, yes, I'm newborn. Everybody says they give you a name, whoever gave you a name, and they decided who you will be with that name. And that's what you think later. And then you're in school. I'm in school. I'm a school boy or a school girl. That's who you are. Then you are in college. I'm college, whatever, boy, girl. I'm a girlfriend. I'm a boyfriend. These days, what's like, with sexuality too. Now we identify. So I'm heterosexual. I'm homosexual, bisexual, whatever. So like this, all the time changing. Reality is, you are never one thing. You always change every day, you're something else, something else, something else. Yet, now look at your mind, how it thinks. Your mind thinks it's always the same. You did this to me last year, you say. Look at the picture. Last year we were here. I was here. You understand? When I was 5 months, my father beat me or something. I don't know. Well, that's too much. Okay, 5 years. My father beat me. Again, that we remember. As if that was me. But that was not me. Me is 34 years old. That's 5 years old. 5 years old. Not the same. Cannot be same. How can be? Think about it. Only reason why we think it is the same is because they're never together. It can be together in your mind, in front of your mind. You can bring them together and think, that's not the same. Same question, same logic applies. Look at your mind, and also your mind too. I'm just talking about body. Look at your mind. A 5 years old mind. And right now, everything is changed. Your feelings change. 10 years ago, you believe in certain philosophies, certain things that are completely changed. Very important to know this. And just as the before one, I really appreciate this again. And actually, this is actually from Aryadeva. He says, for example, if you could somehow bring everything right now, like, so this is me as a toddler, this is me as 1 year old, this is me as 2 year old, this is me as 10, 20 year old. He says, if you could do it, actually bring them all together, then it will be like crystal clear for you, crystal clear. That, because you cannot be everything, that would be stupid. How can a toddler be 50 years old? That would be weird. But you cannot not be any of those two. Then what are you? Okay, I don't want to start a philosophical talk, but apologize. Yeah, it's making noise. Okay. So, again, sit straight. With the blessing of Shakyamuni and under his vision, you meditate. Look at yourself this time to see which one is the real you, so to speak. Which one? Right now, the one yesterday, before yesterday. Which one is the real you? again, like I said before, look at the change of the body, look at the change of the mind, look at the change in the names, designations. You have any questions? This is easy, no? Very easy. Something you can do. Not like no eyes, no nose.
The tendency we have, or I have at least, is to kind of try to find a character which is continuous, and then holding back to that one, which is also not. I mean, how can we look at that one and see that it's also not?
Yeah.
Like I've always been stubborn, or I've always been, extreme, or
That's
true, but also not.
Yeah, no, that's good. Now, if you start seeing that, okay, stubbornness has always been there, so to speak, then again you have to analyze. Again, now go further. Vipassana has a lot of this element of analysis, not like samatha, because right now our insight is limited with conceptual. Someone is having good time. That's good. Right now, our insight is very much limited by conceptualizations. This is all we have. So it's okay. It's good actually if you think, oh, wait, my character or my habits are same. Then now you have to look into it again. And stubbornness, today's stubbornness is not yesterday's stubbornness. Again, just like the flower and everything, you have to look at each of the qualities in this way. Today's stubbornness is not same as yesterday's stubbornness. Yesterday's stubbornness is not tomorrow's stubbornness. All the habits like that, And at the end of the day, you have to go on until you don't know what to think anymore. That's good. Not knowing, now what do I do? That's a good, cheap copy of the wisdom. Like a very cheap, not good actually, in the long run. For now, our capacity is very good, like not knowing, now what's going on? Not really this one, not really that one, not really that, but not this one, that one. not, as our teachers say, not knowing where to put the finger on. Yet you cannot say there is nothing there. That would be stupid. Someone is meditating, but you don't know where, like which, One thing it makes clear to us is that, it becomes clear to us is that there is no such ultimate truth here as it comes to our self. There is no self that is truly existent. In each moment, we are presented with a new self, so to speak, by our own mind, of course. Each moment we think of a new self, and each moment that is the truth. Today's self is true right now. If you ask me right now, this is who I am. Yesterday's self no longer true. 7 years ago, I'm a monk. If you tell me, no, you have 2 children, I might punch you out of righteousness. How dare you? You understand? The self, very different at that time. Idea of who I am, what I am, now, very different. Cannot, not a monk, not a school children. Place has changed, time has changed, I have changed, feelings have changed, everything has changed. Nothing has remained. Yet, it hasn't become like nothingness either. As the Master says, the past objects do not travel to the future, yet things do not cease out of nowhere. Anyway, now if I go on like this, then it will become too sort of philosophical. I believe that retreats should be more sort of with practical application. Good.
I have a question. Could you say that the self is the path to emptiness?
In what sense?
Looking at all the influences you get from very little childhood up to today, and then you continue. I was just thinking of all the influences I had in my life from very different people. And now I meet you and I continue.
Yeah. In a way you can. In a way. Even the idea, I will liberate all sentient beings. You're using the self, I will meditate. I will practice Vipasanna. And self is also an object of analysis. The object of analysis is something that brings emptiness closer to you. So anything you can say is a path to emptiness. Flower, matters, whatever. Space, trees, water. Of course, the self too. In that sense, Generally, self, the idea of self is what we use to cover up the emptiness. Idea of self, idea of one thing, like this one cup, I say, one cup.
But if we dissolve the self,
Yeah.
the different,
Like this.
different experiences we receive, we are no more the self from today to tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
like
it dissolves even more and more.
so. Then you are. In this way you can say, like I said, in this regard you can say, so everything becomes an object of emptiness. But so we have to remember what we are trying to do here is that we are really going against our habit of, for example, naming something, like this is one cup. The moment you say this is one cup, you're creating a habit that goes against its very nature. You're forcing it to be something it is not. like that. It's not a one cup. It's it's hundreds of thousands of things that is put together by the potter, and water and fire and like this. For now, it's not a one thing. But when I say one cup, I only think of one thing. It's a one thing. If someone says, bring only one thing, and I bring my cup. You understand? Like that. Without. Yes?
I'm wondering how a person is thinking if he or she has mastered selflessness, if he or she has mastered selflessness.
Yes.
No? Because I must make myself familiar with a different way of thinking. For example, if a mosquito is biting me, would this person think...
Mosquito always bother you. Last time too, you asked me about mosquito.
No.
Okay.
Because I have not sweet blood. No, but maybe this person is thinking then, this body or this flesh is beaten now. Or no, this is just an example. And I want to know more about how I would think
That,
if I could see this happen.
of course, we have, like in the teachings, how a bodhisattva thinks. Of bodhisattva on the first bhumi, who has seen the emptiness directly. Then they say how we grasp and how they grasp on things are very different. How we grasp is as a very substantial, something that is like a real substance. How they grasp is just for this, mere designations, mere names. Everything is just names only, exists only as names. Best example for ourselves is, if you ever, while you're dreaming, if you have recognized this is a dream, it doesn't end there. Things still move. You're still thinking, even though you know this is a dream, all is not real, yet there are things happening there. That's the best, closest example ordinary beings can have to that. Most people, once in their life, they have this recognition during dream. They know it's dream. Almost all people, everybody, I think, So it seems it just doesn't, and sometimes, it's good that you're thinking like this. Also, when people ask, okay, how does the Buddha feel? Like that. These are innocent questions, very nice. But also we have to, like Zen master, I go everywhere now. Dogen says, a fish swims like a fish, a bird flies like a bird. What he actually meant, it seems, is that a fish swims the ocean not knowing the limit of the ocean. It doesn't have to know the limit of the ocean. It knows it can be swam. It can swim, so it swims. It has to go somewhere. Same with the bird. A bird, how would it be if a bird says, well, first I want to know what is the end there, then I do, what is the result, main result, or fish. First I want to know what is sort of the end of the ocean, what is there, then I will go, That's good. But then at many times in our life, we just have to do things. That's how it is, because even if there are answers, we are not capable of seeing them for now, maybe. Of course, I'm not saying you do it, but sometimes, especially youngsters, they, or some people say, oh, I don't want to meditate emptiness because, how would it be if I have no idea of self, And first of all, whatever it is, it seems better than what we have. We have the results of people like Shakyamuni. all the arahats and bodhisattvas. No one who has sort of studied these texts properly can misuse them. Actually, you cannot really misuse them. You cannot really. Through these signs, you can see that your character, whatever your character will be after seeing the emptiness, is only going to be beneficial, if not neutral. Yes, and with the Vipassana, you don't always have to sit straight though. It's the contemplation is the important. Contemplation becomes meditation. So, while you're sitting somewhere, while you're walking, you keep the mind engaged in the inquiries of, just as we did right now. And it's okay if you think, all right, there is some substance, Some people think, we have here character or influence. That's good. That means you have further material to analyze, That's all right. And if you don't find anything, that's also good. No need to have any material to analyze. You already analyzed. Also very safe, this type of meditation. Almost guaranteed you will not become nihilistic. Because what it does is that it shows phenomena to you. Through that, you see the reality of the phenomena. Like that, And then there is no way you become nihilist. Especially look at the mind when you meditate like this. The change that our mind has gone through is really, and it's something very tangible for you to actually notice. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, before you met the Dharma and after you met the Dharma, this is probably one of the biggest changes in your mind, changes of your mind in your life. And none of it is your real nature. None of it is your sort of the true real mind. Habits, look into your habits. Habits you had before, you don't have anymore. Habits you don't had before, now you have. And like this, it will keep changing. No habit truly is like your true nature. Go on like this. Don't stop there with different names you had. Your behavior. Look at your behavior. You behave a certain way to your parents. In front of your parents, you are the son or the daughter, so you behave according like to that. In front of your children, you are the parents, and then you behave like very different. In front of your friends, you want to tell them I'm still cool, I'm still sociable. So you want to behave very differently there. If you're single and you're looking for somebody, your behavior is completely different again. And all these are circumstantial, very, very different, and none of this is sort of you cannot say that this is the real me. All the rest is just a show. This is cannot really say that actually, because you mean all of those, don't you? Don't we mean all of those? You know, all of those. Now what we are doing, remember the flower, each petal is different. Into the pistil, when you go to the center of the flower, then each of those pistils, you call it, yeah, is different. Different material, different cause and condition actually. The smell is different, color is different. That's what we are doing. Look at each, yeah, we're talking character now, right? Look, each behavior, look at it. You behave very different in the temple, behave very different somewhere else. In front of your teacher, or when you're by yourself, very different behavior. That's good. If first step is to break this idea of an individual phenomena, whatever, like me, him, her, like this. Until this has happened, impermanence will never be understood or never be experienced. Because when there is an individual phenomena, then there is a hope for it to last. Hope, always there's a clinging, grasping for it to be there tomorrow too. You know. Similarly, this is again another contemplation I found from the text, and I'm so happy. Those of us who believe in life after death now, by God, that's such an absurd idea. If you believe in a self, yet you believe in life after death, it's a very, in a way, it's very, that you are being born again and again. That's what you think. How does that work? Okay. Past life. I always like to think that I was a frog. I don't know why. I mean, I was a frog, I guess, for a long time. I was always a frog sitting on a lotus, what do you call it, leaf? Yeah, oh. And in a bog or a pond, looking up. Maybe there is a nice rain, catching insects, escaping snakes. Fishes are my friend. I don't bother them. They don't bother me. It's my whole life. My whole life. Find another frog, make babies, make sure the egg is in the water, then go. Whole life like that. Then one day, I'm distracted and suddenly, from behind, eaten by a snake or a bird. Maybe before that, I don't know, like this, a donkey, I really like this example. Again, a donkey, somewhere in Mexico. Carrying bricks and sands, or I don't know. I love my honor, my master. It's a very good man. I know his smell always gives me carrot. I know my family, the other donkeys. I don't like to be behind other donkey when we're walking, especially when they fart. goes directly in my mouth. But we have to walk in a straight line, because our owner is watching, master is watching, so the human is watching. That's another life. Go on. Now, which one is the real you again? Very important. Impermanence, like I said before. Impermanence is the key to everything. This is impermanence. Life, birth, and death is the gross impermanence. Maybe next life, an insect, or a man, or a woman, celestial being. As soon as you agree on a life after death, you have accepted selflessness. Simple as that. Donkey is not me. The frog is not me, actually. How can it be me? I am a human being. Frog is frog. Body is not same. Mind is not same. Frog thinks like a frog. I think like a human. Very different. You can say the stream of consciousness. What does that actually mean? Stream of consciousness. There's no such thing as stream of consciousness anywhere when you look. Stream of consciousness is a name given to the continuity. That is another mental object. Yet, I cannot say that it's not me either. As a Hindu master called Vivekananda, and I was reading, this guy is so smart. So, too bad for the world that he died so early. I don't mind if he died like he was 41, 39 or something. My God, this man is so smart, so intelligent, and realized actually in their own practice, whatever. Vivekananda. He was so unique that I heard in Chicago, he was one of the first Asian master to travel in the West. He was invited by a women's club or something. They just wanted to bring somebody from India. They had no idea who they were bringing. He was so unique, it said, that when he was walking in the street, especially in the red light district, for no reason, all the prostitutes, bow down and start kissing the end of his robe. Very unique. I wanted to know his idea about Buddhism. Of course, he thinks it's flawed. He's Hindu master, and I really like it what he said, and the way he misunderstood it really showed that he actually really understands life after death. He said, Buddha is the incarnation of Vishnu. Right? That's what they say all the time. But that's whatever they have to say. They let them say it. But he said, but he made two mistakes. One of the main mistakes is that he didn't teach Atma. He didn't teach a self. So he said, we believe in a self, true existing self, an Atman. So for us, life after death is possible. I die, the body is left, mind is dissolved, but the Atman goes to the next life. So he asks, what is Buddha going to say now? Who is going to the next life? You understand? And at the first glance, you might think, oh, this stupid guy, but actually very smart. He really understood that nothing can go to the next life if there is no Atman. This is what Buddha actually wanted to say. He didn't teach Atman that, I'm getting distracted. I apologize. I don't want to say all that. The main object of meditation, which, we do afterwards, but I want you to think about this. When you believe in life after death, you believe endless cycle, not just 5, 3, no, endless cycle, just like this wood now. There's no beginning to this material. Similarly, mind, no beginning to the material. Body, no beginning to the material. Or life, this life. There is a previous life, previous life, previous life, previous. You can keep on going. And it's not always the same. It's not like, now if it would be like in all my lives I have the same name, same body. But it's not. Very different, very different. Different cause, different result. Yet, a feeling is, that's all me. You understand? I feel like it's all me, but is it really? So which one is the real you? I apologize, I got distracted, but just to look at that, I actually want to say a few words, Look into that. The reason why I then went into details of a frog life, of a donkey life, is that it's good to actually feel it. Imaginations are strong. Our imaginations are strong. We are distracted being. So we can pretend very well. Imagination is pretense, isn't it? So you imagine how it would be as a fish or a cricket or like this. For sure, we have been born as such many times. Then look at that body, very different. Mind, extremely different. Extremely different, vastly different. Then maybe some of us might think, oh, but the self-clinging is there, something like that, that's good. Analyze that too. And like this. Then, we cannot deny the existence of all those, but you cannot also point to any of those and say, this is the real nature, this is the true me, the real me. We'll think about it more. Or else life after death becomes very strange, don't you think? It's like to scare people, like, oh, you do bad, you go to hell. Maybe you do go to hell, but that's not the real purpose. That's not the purpose of Buddha at all, So let's contemplate on that. If you have any questions, please raise, or we have, I think, they may have prepared lunch.
You said this.
He said two mistakes. One is second one is that Buddha didn't teach in Sanskrit, he said. Exactly. This guy is very smart, be careful. What he meant was that the reason why Buddhism didn't survive in India is because it was taught in a language that was not considered fancy. And Indians love Sanskrit. It's considered one of the most fanciest language in the world. Not just by Indian now, everybody, right? Sanskrit is really considered like a mother of language, Very fancy too, very accurate. I think German is quite close to it actually. The way you use der, die, das, and then that changes everything, Very close to Sanskrit. So he said that's the reason why it didn't really sort of stay into the mind stream of intellectuals in India. I don't know. It's a language that is forbidden for ordinary people actually. Okay, so we managed to pass the time. think, I don't want, if they have prepared something, then, Thank you so much. Please recite the dedication. Page number 37, 35. By this merit, having attained omniscience and defeated the enemy of wrongdoing, may I free all beings from the ocean of existence with its tumultuous waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. Just as the heroic Manjushri who knows everything as it is, and as Samantabhadra likewise did too, just so to follow all of them and train myself, I perfectly dedicate these meritorious actions. May the precious Supreme Bodhicitta arise in those in whom it has not arisen. Having arisen, may it not diminish, but ever expand more and more. As long as space remains, as long as the world remains, may I too remain to alleviate the suffering of the world. Thank you.